All right, good evening. It's Thursday, April 15th, 2021. It's 6 p.m. This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Jefferson County Commission calling us to order. First up is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll actually take care of the pledge tonight, if that's okay, guys. So, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll jump to the next item, which is approval of the April 1st, 2021 regular minutes.
I'll move it.
Sorry.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is approval of requisitions for April 1st, 2021. And I'll move we approve that in the amount of $31,097.71.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Next is approval of accounts payable for April 8th, 2021.
I'll move approval of accounts payable for April 8th, 2021. Total amount $291,796.19.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is approval of accounts payable for April 15th, 2021. I'll do that in the amount of $207,439.67.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is approval of manual checks for April 9th, 2021. And I'll do that in the amount of $3,231.54.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is approval of manual checks for April 16th, 2021.
I'll move approval of manual checks April 16th, 2021, $113,935.19.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Just to note that the large amount is a large check to farmland protection. That's why the amount's so large.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Next is approval of payroll for April 1st, 2021. I'll move that in the amount of $264,145.62.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Stephanie, do we have any announcements tonight?
I do have an announcement. The vacancy for the labor position on the JCDA is not actually expiring. It doesn't actually expire until next year. There was initially some controversy surrounding the appointment of that position, so it led us to our records to be incorrect. So that position is not expiring. There's another year left in that position. And Jessica went back and researched to make sure, and it is the next year that it will expire. So we will not be appointing for that tonight. And then Jessica sent you, and we can deal with this when we get to it, but she sent you an additional applicant for the Board of Health that came in this afternoon. And that's it. Those are all the announcements I have.
Okay, so we're a little early. Is the sheriff on?
Not seeing him, but let me check this. Sometimes he's over in my attendee list here.
All right. If he's not, we can jump to two quick things, I think, so.
Okay. Did you want to do public comment?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. My sheet's cut off on the bottom. It's on the next page. I didn't see it. So yeah, let's jump to public comment. Sorry about that.
If there are individuals who wish to make public comment, you can use the raise your hand icon, or you can send me a message and I will unmute you so that you can make public comment. It looks like we had someone who had their hand raised here. Okay, Miss Lynn Widmeyer.
Am I unmuted?
You are, yes.
Hi, my name is Lynn Widmeyer. I've already expressed my opposition to the County Commission's decision to vote on issues the day or night of a public hearing instead of leaving the comment period open for an additional 2 weeks. As a citizen and taxpayer, I must say, what is the point of testifying when the County Commission is simply going to vote without taking the time to study or have staff evaluate your thoughts? I did go to the minutes for the April 1 meeting, which you just approved, to find out who made the motion and who voted to support it, but was surprised to find the meeting say only it was done by consensus. I believe this is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. The checklist for conformity with the Open Meetings Act prepared by the West Virginia Ethics Commission asks, are all motions, proposals, resolutions, orders, ordinances, and measures proposed, the name of the person proposing same, and their disposition reflected in the minutes? I do not believe simply saying it was consensus conforms to code. I am requesting that the County Commission attorney look into this, and if the action does violate the Open Meetings Act, then I would request the County Commission correct this error. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anybody else?
I'm not seeing anyone else.
Okay. It looks like the sheriff's with us, so if no one else has a comment, we'll move to agenda item number 1. Tom Hanson, Sheriff, new rank creation is the first item. How are you doing, Sheriff? Are you on mute?
Good evening, Commissioners. How are you today?
Not too bad. So tell us what you want to do here.
Well, like one of the things about the police departments and sheriff's offices is that we're a paramilitary organization and they have ranks, and we have to look towards promotions and things like that. I created a captain's rank to allow upward mobility because it was pretty much stagnant for the last 9 years, except for one sergeant here, one sergeant there. This allowed me also to replace the chief deputy's position as lieutenant. So there was 2 lieutenants created, 2 sergeants created, and 3 corporals created, which all fall under the Civil Service Act requirements. All of them are in my budget, and also, so that's what it is.
Okay, so I guess my question is, what is the financial impact of this action? So Michelle, can you give us a brief synopsis of that, and then Sheriff, you can chime in too.
Okay. After speaking with the department, I learned that there are about 8 employees who are going to get an increase of about $2,500 each. So for the current fiscal year, they would need about $5,500, and for the next fiscal year, they would need about $24,000. In fiscal year 22, they did budget $17,800 for promotions. However, they have other departmental promotions that will occur during the year. So they do not have enough in the next fiscal year to cover this new initiative. I have, let's see, in the current fiscal year, we also have no vacancy savings due to the 3 positions that we lost funding for earlier in the fiscal year. Because this is a new initiative, I wonder why it wasn't actually included in the fiscal year 22 budget requests. There is no funding included for it in fiscal year 21 or in fiscal year 22. It's creating promotions that were not originally included in the fiscal year 21 budget. This would need to come from other lines within the department for both fiscal year 21 and 22 to fully fund it. The commission has never permitted the use of other lines for wages and benefits or vice versa. So this would set a new precedent or potentially a bad precedent for other departments. The department's already on pace to go over budget for their overtime line item, and this kind of opens the door for others. If you're using it from one line item to pay for wages and benefits, it kind of opens the door for others to pad other line items for wages and benefits, and it's kind of similar to departments distributing wages of the terminated employees to the remaining employees. It creates department creep. I do recommend that this be included for consideration in fiscal year 23's budget requests, so the department actually follows the normal budget request procedures for new initiatives.
Okay, thank you for that synopsis, Michelle. So Sheriff, I guess the question is based upon just strictly financial considerations. How do you plan on paying for this?
Well, I was told by my executive assistant who went through Michelle that the money was there. And so I went forward with it. Had I known it would have been included in, I thought it was included in the new budget, because I needed to open up and I needed to fill positions that were vacant in my hierarchy, in my command staff, and also my sergeants, patrol sergeants, such like that. I don't know how else I can iterate it about it.
So I guess I recognize where you're coming from, Sheriff. And it is Michelle's duty as finance director to provide the commission with the financial details about all these decisions, not just this decision. I mean, I have a real concern of pulling money from other line items and into salary line items. It makes me wonder, are we depleting those other line items that may be very important as well? So I mean, I have a hard time allowing this. I don't know what the other commissioners feel about this, but Commissioner Tab, any feedback on this? I think you're on mute.
I agree with you, Josh, and mark that one on the wall. I think, you know, we know it happens at times and there's unexpected expenses, but this just opens up salaries to, I think, possible abuse. I'm not saying that's what the intention was here, but
There's no intent of abuse.
I understand that, but I'm afraid that, you know, there is perhaps a perception from others that if we allow you to do it, they can do it too. So, no, I can't go with these increases in the current year, and we've got to figure out a way to budget in the future for these promotions or new positions, however you want to, what the correct terminology is.
Anybody else with comments on this?
No, I just want to chime in real quick, Chairman. I agree with you. You know, certainly I certainly wish we could give our sheriff every request he asked for, but we are certainly restricted to the budget that is before. So I certainly agree with him that the creation of these ranks are important, but we also have to stay inside our budget.
Anybody else? Commissioner Hudson Jackson? Sheriff, it sounds like we may have consensus that unfortunately we're not going to proceed with this, and maybe we should put it on the budget next year, or maybe it should have been on the budget this year. But as far as a budgetary standpoint, I don't think we can approve this, judging by my colleagues and myself.
Well, I just got a text from my executive assistant said that there were money included, and Michelle was fine for moving funds from other line items when she spoke to Michelle earlier today.
I spoke to Debbie yesterday. I didn't indicate that I was fine with it. She indicated to me that that was the plan that she had come up with.
And Sheriff, with all due respect, Michelle is there to consult us from a financial standpoint. The commission sets policy. So it sounds like the majority of the commissioners here are not going to agree to that.
Well, I'm going to need the position, so I'm going to promote them anyway. They may not get a pay raise, but I'm going to promote them anyway.
That's certainly your prerogative, but we can't approve that salary adjustment at this point in time. As long as I have consensus from my colleagues on the commission, that's what we're agreeing to here. Is there consensus from the commissioners?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Josh. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Sheriff, but we can't do it at this point in time. We can jump to the next one, promotions in informational. What is that?
My predecessor, because his son-in-law was one of the animal control officers, did away with the supervisor so that he wouldn't have anybody over him. I would like to and there needs to be a hierarchy in the animal control division of my office so that we can go forward. They're acting like there's nobody in charge, even though I named her at the Jeff Ebersole as the animal control supervisor. That's what that is.
So is there a budget impact or is it just a title change? Michelle?
When I spoke to Debbie yesterday, she indicated that there would be a small budgetary impact. I do want to point out that the department did request for a new position in animal control for fiscal year 22. They did request to add back the supervisory position. That request was not approved. I do believe that this is an alternative request to the original request. It's a request that has a much lower cost. I understand that there is a department need to have hierarchy within the staff and to maintain continuity of operations. Because this is an alternate request and it does have a reduced funding amount, I would recommend that we approve it for an effective date of July the 1st, 2021, and that we amend the fiscal year 22 budget that was just recently approved to reflect this alternate request being approved. The budget impact for fiscal year 22 would be approximately $600. And for fiscal year 21, if it were to be approved now, it would be approximately $150. The department was proposing that, again, we reduce materials and supplies to increase wages and benefits. So that's kind of the reason why I don't recommend we approve it for fiscal year 21, but we do have the opportunity to amend the budget for fiscal year 22 at this point, and that would be my recommendation since it's a small dollar amount and we do need it for departmental continuity.
I mean, I can understand that, so I'm happy to make the motion that we approve the designation of an animal control supervisor at the discretion of the sheriff effective July 1st, 2021.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Sheriff. I'm sorry we couldn't get you everything you asked for tonight, but please add that to next year's budget.
I don't understand where she comes up with $28,000. It's a $2,500 raise across the board for the 7 people I'm giving a raise to, not 28,000 as Michelle said. It's 20,000. It would have been $2,500 per person raise.
Well, I guess, Sheriff, it's not just salary adjustments, it's retirement adjustments and so forth. That's all built into Michelle's number. So I understand where you're coming from, but there's more added cost to just raising salaries than just the actual salary increase.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I need the position, so I'm gonna promote them anyway, and I'll figure out a way to pay them.
All right, thank you, Sheriff. Michelle, I guess you can stick around. We're moving to number 2 now. Review and approval of the Equal Employment Opportunity Plan and EEOP utilization analysis as of March 22nd, 2021.
So our equal opportunity plan was included in your packet. I did not make any revisions to it. It was last revised in May of 2019. Because we have a couple of new commissioners, I will read it. It is the policy and responsibility of the county commission to provide equal employment opportunity, which will affect all employment practices, including but not limited to recruitment, hiring, transfer, promotion, training, compensation, benefits, layoffs, and terminations without regard to. Now there's a list here, and some of these things we're required to have based on West Virginia state code, and some of these things we're required to have by federal law. And there are a few things in here we're actually not required to have at all at this point. So I'm going to name the things first that we're required to have by law. Those are gender, race, color, religious creed, national origin, ancestry, disability, sex, political affiliation, veteran status, and age. Several years ago, the commission also added sexual orientation, gender identification or expression, military service, genetic information, of course, the catch-all, any characteristic protected under state or federal law not specifically listed. And based on recent changes at the federal level and recent Supreme Court decisions, I believe that the county is kind of ahead of the game with having those additional classifications in there. This policy applies to civil service as well as non-civil service personnel. The county bases employment decisions on objective standards so much as possible in the furtherance of equal employment opportunity. The EEO plan is the method by which the county will ensure diversity through fair and equal employment and treatment of all employees and applicants for employment. The county is committed to maintaining a work environment that is free of illegal discriminatory behavior, including without limitation harassment because of or about an individual's protected characteristics. These statements commit the personnel of the county to work to promote and achieve equal employment opportunity and a work environment free of discrimination or discriminatory harassment. And it becomes a part of the personnel policies and procedures of the county. The EEOP plan is issued in compliance with federal guidelines prescribing that agencies because we accept federal financial assistance and we're required to complete this plan. The EEOP plan will be implemented and monitored and revised by the county administrator or the finance director. This policy will be in effect for fiscal year 21 as well as fiscal year 22. Do I have any questions about the EEOP plan?
I don't have anything. I went through it. I think we're covering a lot of things. Like you said, we're more robust than probably state or federal right now. So I think that's good. Any other commissioners with comments on that?
Michelle, I just had a question. I heard you when you were going through the list, something about genetics. And I'm just curious what that means.
Genetic information, I think that applies to the gender identification or potentially someone who has a disease or disability.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
Any further questions from commissioners? All right, well, I'll move to approve the EEOP and the EEOP utilization analysis.
I didn't go over the analysis yet.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was a separate motion.
Yeah.
You have 3 motions and 3 agenda items.
Yes. Okay. For the analysis, we're required to update this every other year. Data for the community labor statistics data was obtained from the website American Fact Finder, which contains data from the U.S. Census Bureau. They have not updated it yet for the most recent census, but they did update it for the 5-year period of 2014 through 2018. This data is used in the preparation of this report, represents data solely for Jefferson County, and is listed in the CLS on the attached chart. Jefferson County employer data was obtained from the county's payroll system and is listed as county on the attached chart. Overall totals for the attached chart do not show significant statistical variances. Final county totals show that the commission's policy and commitment to equal employment opportunity practices are being followed by county hiring staff. Statistics show that significant under or overutilization may be evidence of employment discrimination. So in summary, overall totals show that based on the available labor pool in Jefferson County, that's not in the United States, so it's the labor pool here in Jefferson County alone, the commission should focus on improving recruitment of white males. We have an underutilization of white males of 5.35%. Doing so may correct the overutilization of white females. We have an overutilization of white females of 11.92%. For the purpose of this analysis, variances greater than 10% over or under utilization will be outlined. In the officials and administrators category, based on the available labor pool in Jefferson County, the commission should focus on improving recruitment of white females. We have a 6.82% underutilization. Doing so may correct the overutilization of white males and Hispanic females in this category of 6.36% and 10.36% respectively. In the professional category, we had no variances that exceeded 10% over or under the available labor pool. Technicians, we should focus on recruitment of white males again. We have an 8.37% underutilization, and doing so might correct the overutilization of females. We have almost 26% overutilization in the technician category. Technicians, I believe, includes our dispatchers and things like that. Protective services, we had no variances exceeding 10%. Administrative services is very similar to our technician category. The commission should focus on recruitment of white males. We have an 18% underutilization, and it would potentially correct the overutilization of white females of 24% in that category. Our skilled and semi-skilled craft, based on the available labor pool, The commission should focus on recruitment of actually Hispanic males and white females. We have an underutilization of 5.3% and 8.64%. Doing so may correct the overutilization of white males and black males in this category of 12.56% and 6.72%, respectively. The last category that we have of employees is our service maintenance. Let's see, improvements should be made to recruit more black males and black females in this category. We have a 5.15% and 5.74% underutilization respectively, and less Hispanic females. We have an overutilization of 16.71%. The county will continue efforts to recruit, hire, and retain a diverse base of employees at all levels. The county will continue to foster relationships with local associations, colleges, workforce groups in order to create or recruit candidates and ensure that diverse candidates are being fairly considered. The county should continue to assess whether any step in the recruitment process or selection process is creating any significant impact on screening out any of those minorities or protected groups. And based on results, we should consider modifying, if there were any, we would consider modifying our candidate selection process. The county will continue to seek opportunities to support diversity for employees interested in advancing into leadership positions. The county will use social media to reach a broader, more diverse selection of applicants with the intent to attract more underutilized applicants. Lastly, the county should ensure the county is an employer of choice. The county will continue its commitment to maintaining a work environment that is free of illegal discriminatory behavior, including discriminatory harassment, and will take appropriate steps to eliminate such behavior. So that we're in accordance with federal law, dissemination of this EEOP plan and our EOP utilization report will be posted on the county's intranet, which is an internal electronic communication network for all employees. It will be emailed to all employees. A link will be provided to them so that they can see it. A physical copy is also located in our Human Resources Department here at the Hunter House. Reports will be distributed to all department heads and elected officials. All employees will be notified that the county is committed to providing equal employment opportunities and that the county is actively seeking to increase diversity in its workforce. As far as external dissemination, the county's equal EOP statement and utilization report are posted on the county's external website. Notice is provided that the report is located on the county administrator's office on file. Language is also included in all job postings and advertisements that the county's ongoing commitment to providing equal employment opportunities and diversifying its workforce. The county will also make every effort to notify vendors and contractors through provisions and requests for quotes and requests for proposals that the EOP utilization report is available for review. And I think that's everything I have. The report is attached as far as the spreadsheet goes. I also, just the last page, I'm required to provide a certification to our grant program. And that's the last page.
Any questions from anybody for Michelle?
Michelle, yeah, the Commissioner Jackson here. I think you said it, but did you say this was going to go on the webpage, the county webpage?
Yeah. It is. The old version is right now on the webpage. I won't post the new one until this one is approved.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Michelle on this? All right, so I'll restate my motion. I move to approve the EEOP and the EEOP utilization analysis.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is review and approval of the West Virginia Corp insurance renewable for 2022.
Okay. Attached is a renewal contract for the county's WV Corp self-insurance renewal for liability, which includes our property, automobile, liability, volunteer, accident, sickness, and line of duty act, our workers' compensation for fiscal year 21-22. The total amount budgeted for fiscal year 22 is $468,242. For the fiscal year 22 budget, a 2.2% increase was included for liability insurance based on historical trends, and an 8.7% increase was included for workers' compensation, also based on historical trends. The new renewal rate for liability insurance is actually $320,619, and it's actually a 3.4% less than we had originally projected for fiscal year 22. The renewal will result in savings of $11,000 for fiscal year 22 for that particular line item. The fiscal year 22 budget for annual payroll was $11.0 million, and it increased by about $88,000 over fiscal year 21's actual payroll. The county's workers' comp experience rating remains the same at 0.80% for fiscal year 22. And because total payroll is flat for fiscal year 22, our actual insurance is decreasing by 5.5% for fiscal year 22. So we should expect to see savings of $17,000 in fiscal year 22. Total savings realized, there's one additional thing. They did provide us with a credit, much like our health insurance provided us with a premium credit for the month of December. Our liability insurance has also provided us with a premium credit of $8,775. And our fiscal year 22 renewal includes total savings of $37,949. The county currently has cyber risk liability coverage in place with no deductible. The limits for cyber risk liability are $250,000 per occurrence and aggregate per member of $1 million maximum. Due to increases in cyber attacks in recent years, WV Corps is offering the option to purchase increased cyber risk coverage. The purchase limit is the county's own limit, and it is in addition to the pooled limits that are described above. Previously, cyber risk liability provides coverage due to network security breaches, hacking and viruses, and online privacy matters, including identity theft. Coverage also includes crisis management, remediation, and notification expense coverage for public relations services, expense to determine scope of breach, and notification expense required by law, including all mailings and monitorings up to the purchase limit. The cyber risk increased limit liability options provided are as follows. We can choose one of these options or none of these options. We can increase our limit by $1 million at an additional cost of $6,000 annually, $2 million for $8,000 annually, or $3 million for $10,000 annually. We can increase our limit up to $5 million. They did not provide that quote, but if you would like me to get it, I can. I would recommend that we increase our limit because we do have savings of $37,949. It would be budget neutral for fiscal year 22.
So Michelle, does
yes.
that cover ransom? I didn't mean to interrupt you. Does that cover ransomware too?
Yes, I believe. I mean, it's cyber, so yes.
I just want to make sure because I know a lot of much larger jurisdictions have had problems with ransomware, and we're talking about large quantities of money being paid out. So I mean, if this does cover that, I absolutely think we should at least up it to the $1 million, maybe $2 million mark, assuming that savings isn't needed for the medical insurance, because I know we didn't want to transfer any of those medical insurance costs to employees this year. That's just my prerogative.
The medical insurance I'll go over next. It did increase slightly, but it is still under the budgeted amount.
Okay, so I mean, in that regard, I think we should consider maybe jumping to the $1 million thing, or I guess $2 million is only $2,000 more. So what do you guys think? You never should buy more insurance than you need, but does anybody else have any?
This cyber risk potential, is serious, and it hasn't hit us, but we know it's hit other larger, perhaps more sophisticated entities, and I think it would be worth it as long as we have the money to cover it in the line item, which it sounds like that it came in under our estimate for 2022, so we can use the savings there and put it to the cyber risk liability option.
Other commissioners?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. If we want to do the $2 million, I think that's pretty good for $2,000 more. I agree.
Yeah. Works.
Commissioner Stolfer?
No, excuse me, I agree with you. Yes, sir.
Hudson?
I concur.
Okay, so I think we need a motion on that. So I think I move to accept the 4-year 2022 Risk and Workers' Compensation Plan renewal from West Virginia Corp Risk Pool with additional cyber risk liability option of $2 million.
Second,
Any further discussion on this? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion passes unanimously. So the last thing, Michelle, is a review of Highmark medical insurance renewal options and selection of plan for year 2022.
Just to give you a little bit of history on our insurance plans, I have the renewal right now for our medical insurance or health insurance. Let's see. They provided us with one option for review, and during the budget process, the county's insurance representative had initially advised us that we would receive a 5 to 8% increase. So I included $115,000 in the budget for fiscal year 22, or a 5% increase. The last increase to the employee portion of the county's insurance premium was during the fiscal year 21 year, and the increase prior to that was actually during fiscal year 18. Based on the analysis that was done, we had indicated last year that we would increase the employee portion on an annual basis. However, during the budget process, when COLAs and merit increases were not included, based on affordability, we decided to place a temporary hold on that. So I've included a revised spreadsheet that shows you the new phase-in plan, and I have on fiscal year 22, we have a temporary hold on that. So the employee portion of the premium will remain the same at $74 for employee only, $334 for the employee plus one, and $458 per month for employees who have families. Renewal option number 1 for the medical insurance renewal plan implements no changes to the current level of services provided to employees, and we only received a 2.25% increase. The estimated cost of this renewal option is actually only $57,500, with no adjustment to the employee versus employer portion of the premiums. So the $57,000 increase would be absorbed by the county. We would still realize savings of about $57,500. The county's dental insurance plan is provided by Delta Dental. We are currently under a 2-year contract with a 2-year rate guarantee through the end of fiscal year 22. So no action is needed for that. We have included $44,850 for this expense. Our Hartford Life Insurance Plan is currently under a 2-year contract. It does expire June the 30th of 2021, and I did receive the renewal policy for that. I'll have that on the agenda in May, actually on May the 6th. So we will take action on that in May. Our vision plan is provided by NVA. It's currently under a 4-year contract with a 4-year rate guarantee through the end of fiscal year 23. This means that the county will have paid the same rate for 8 years. Total annual employer expense for fiscal year 22 is $13,000, and it is already included in the approved budget. No action is needed for our vision plan. So the only action we need right now would be on our health insurance plan, and I did provide you with brief history of the medical insurance rates that includes the employer versus employee portion. Do I have any questions?
Good budgeting, Michelle, as always.
I'm pleasantly surprised on the health insurance rates not, jumping. So, yeah. I'll move to accept Highmark of West Virginia health insurance renewal for fiscal year 2022 with a temporary hold on increasing the employee portion of insurance premiums for fiscal year 2022 only.
Second. Any discussion on this further? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Michelle. Well done. All right, we're a little early. I'm going to jump to number 6, unfinished business. Set date and time for joint meeting of the Jefferson County Fire Rescue Association, County ESA, and County Commission. So I talked to Ross. I know Stephanie, we've been all over the place a little bit on this. I'm going to propose, from what I understand, there has to be a virtual option and in-person for those that want to do in-person. Ross agrees. Stephanie, have we sorted that mess out?
Yeah, I've got Russ working on, he had already started working on with independent because I assumed that's where it would be. That's where it was going to be before, to figure out a way to do it. And I think we were actually ready to hold that meeting. So Russ has that in hand. We just need to get together with them once again. I had also reached out to Ross and he said we could use the date for the fire association meeting, which would be the first Tuesday in May if you want to do that, or if you have another date with him, that's fine too. But that would give Russ more than enough time to get us up and running for the virtual option.
The first Tuesday in May is the 4th. I mean,
First,
that,
right? Is
well,
that right?
it would be the 4th of May though. It would be the first
Oh.
Tuesday, 4th of May. So we're both right.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's fine if there's a virtual option, or, I mean, I was going to just propose May 3rd, the Monday, but I mean, it's insignificant. What does everybody else think? I mean, it's up to, I mean, that was my proposal, is the Monday, but if they want to do the Tuesday.
Can I just say one thing? I mean, because it's supposed to be the ESA, the concept was ESA, fire rescue, and commission. However, if it's to talk what I think they want to talk about, which is a fire fee, I'm assuming that's what they want to talk about, then the fire and rescue is those are the main people you have to be there. The ESA is just the provider of the staff. And they should be there, but they're not. I don't, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought
funding service, the fire rescue is your main, those are the main people I think you want to talk to.
Well, I mean, they said they wanted a joint meeting with everybody from what I was understanding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought holding that on a night that was not their sanctioned meeting night made more sense.
That's fine.
It's not, I mean, I'm only one of 5, so what do the other commissioners think about this?
May 3rd, May 3rd would work for me. May 4th, I have another meeting on the first Tuesday of every month. So,
Commissioner Jackson?
I'm fine with the 3rd as well.
Tab? Commissioner Tab, is the 3rd okay for you? Commissioner Hudson?
Yeah, I can do that.
And there will be a virtual option for any of those that need to be calling in. So that's, I guess, we're going to say it's going to be 7 p.m. May 3rd, which is a Monday.
Okay.
All right, so that's good. We have one other, let's jump to new business then. Reschedule public hearing, repeal the county ATV ordinance, and revert to existing state law. I'm going to.
Why don't we do this in our next meeting at 1:30, our regular meeting?
That's fine with me because that's going to be in person too. I'm okay with that.
Tricia, are you okay with that?
Well, it poses challenge for people that work that might want to make comment unless they write their comments.
So I was going to propose, actually, there's a lot of stuff going on. I was going to propose 7 p.m. May 12th, which is a Wednesday. I know it's a little bit out, but there's a lot of stuff other going on, I think. Yeah, you guys can propose another date. I'm just looking at calendars and stuff.
And are you looking for a virtual meeting?
Yeah, that's good. I think there'll be quite a bit of backfeed on this too, as far as the issue. So I think virtual is what we need.
Yeah, May 12th works for me, as far as I know right now.
Yeah,
Or
that'll be fine.
It was a different date. I mean, I know I pushed that a little bit out there. We could do the 28th,
Yeah.
7 p.m.
Yeah, that would work too.
You want to do the 28th?
I'd rather go ahead and get it over with since we postponed it and it was scheduled for this month.
28th of April at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's taken care of. So we're all in agreement, April 28th, 7 p.m.
Okay.
So that's a Wednesday. All right. And we're right on time too. So we're going to jump back to agenda item number 3, which is Mark requests zoning map amendment, refer to the planning commission for review of comprehensive plan consistency and schedule a public hearing before the county commission, and Mark's with Gordon. It just says Gordon, maybe. So is Mark on the phone? think you're on mute, Stephanie.
Yes, he's, you'll see him here. Well, he's in the corner of my screen.
Oh, hey, Mark. I didn't see you there. Can you hear us?
Oh, I see him. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great.
I know you provide a lot of detail in the agenda packet for people to look at this. What exactly is this, just so the public is aware?
So we have a parcel in the Carneysville area that we are applying for rezoning. And our request to the county commission is to forward it to the planning commission for review for compatibility with the comprehensive plan.
I guess just the parcel is what, 232 acres? Roughly?
Yeah, I don't have it. Let me see if I can get it on the screen in front of me here.
It's 200.
There's two parcels. It's a total of 241 acres.
And you're requesting to go from, sorry, I'm trying to pull this
So
up.
it's owned rural right now, and we
Yeah.
are requesting a residential growth for the majority of the property. And a portion of the property, we're asking for light industrial. The property is adjacent to Ranson. That's the connection point for the Department of Highways, the connection point for utilities. And, we go into a good bit of detail in the application for the site.
Okay, and that application is available for the public to view.
Correct.
Okay, so it needs to be scheduled within 60 days. I know the planning commission meets and then the county needs to, but we just need to refer it to the planning commission initially, right?
The planning commission meets on the 11th of May.
Okay,
So then you would have to have the county commission meeting after that, but within 60 days.
all right, so I'm going to propose June 3rd's meeting at 1:30 p.m. What does everybody think about that?
So it will,
Sounds great.
we send it to the planning commission, and what date will that be?
May
June
11th.
11th.
I believe their date is May 11th is the next one.
Okay, all right, so that gives the public 2 weeks before we have a hearing in June, correct? Roughly?
Maybe a little bit more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. I have a couple questions. Not so much for Mr. Dick, but I guess for our staff. The configuration of this property, I think, makes it difficult to put signage out announcing the meeting. And I want to make sure everyone in the area knows it's happening. I'm assuming adjoining property owners are notified by mail, isn't that correct? But then there's also a sign posted on the property.
Can I
Please.
speak? Let's see.
Yes. Go
Okay,
ahead, Jen.
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know where my picture is, but that when they come straight to you, the only public notice is whatever your standard public hearing notice is. It's an ad in the paper. There's no signage and there's no adjoiner letters. The old process where they applied to the planning commission, there was signage and letters and an ad. But when it comes through you, the part that goes to the planning commission is not a public hearing. It's just for the planning commission to review the comprehensive plan and see if it's in conformance. And they send that back to you. And then the county commission is your standard ordinance revision process, which I believe is 2 ads at least 2 weeks before your meeting. Stephanie, is that right? I think you run 2 ads, one maybe 3 weeks and one 2 weeks, or 1 2 weeks and 1 week. Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I understand thank you for explaining that to me, Jenny. I don't know if this is possible, but I would really like to see some signage on the property and also notice to adjoining property owners. This is a large project. It's near a quarry and a place that's associated with sinkholes. And I know some of the folks that live in Carneysville, and I know they will be impacted too. I'm not saying it's going to be a negative impact, but I want everybody to have full knowledge of what's going on and to be able to express their views.
Yeah, I
I do
actually will agree with you, Mr. Sorry, Commissioner Tapp. No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
I actually, believe it or not, I was going to agree with you also for the second time. So I don't actually have a problem with that people are notified of what's going on here. I mean, we're going to notify the public hearing at the county anyways. Legally, we're bound to do so. Those owners in that vicinity should also be notified of what's going on. Either they should keep aware of what's going on at the county as good citizens of what's going on. Just if there's any possible way we can help that out, I don't know how we do that. Put a sign up like a planning commission or what. Either way, this is all in the public arena. So those folks, I don't want anything to be seen like we're just doing anything without notifying people here. So I don't know what we can do there, Jenny, but
Yeah, we have some standard signs we use for planning commission. I think they say planning commission on them, but they might not. I'd have to actually pull them out. I could show Stephanie what they look like if you believe you have the right to do that. And maybe we could modify them in some way to have them posted on Carneysville Pike. There's 2 entrances proposed. It's probably not needed on the Rockwell side necessarily, but it could be at the end of what's the name of the road in Rockwell?
Northport.
Northport.
I guess it could be there at Northport, and it could be at the 2 places on Carneysville. And then what we normally do for things that require a joiner, that require letters, is the applicant provides us with a list of all the adjoining property owners, and we do the staff sends the letter though. But we just use the tax assessor's map too, so we could do it if you wanted to on their behalf, because it's a requirement that's not in the regulations.
So I guess, Stephanie, can we actually do that though, if we're not bound to required to do that? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to point of order here. I think we should follow the law. If we're following the law, I don't think we need to go above and beyond. And I mean, certainly we're held by West Virginia state law. I don't know that just because this is a site in Carneysville, we need to show it any special attention. We certainly didn't do this for any other rezoning in the county and the last several rezonings. So I think we should just follow the law. I think that's simple enough.
So to that point, I mean, I understand that, Commissioner Stolifer, and I'm not trying to pick favorites here as who we do this for. We don't. The problem is, I mean, we do need to follow the law. If there's a possibility that maybe the applicant is willing to put a sign up on the potential property just to be transparent on their behalf, I think they should consider doing that. If the county can't, I don't think we should force one applicant and treat them any differently than the others. So
that's what
we have no problem putting up a couple signs on Carneysville Pike.
But I think that if the applicant will do that on their behalf, I think the county needs to follow how we do everything else with all the other applicants. So commission.
Yeah, I mean,
We lost you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mouse hovers over the microphone button. If you were sending out letters, you would be treating them differently than other applicants. I don't, if the applicant doesn't object to that, that's fine, but that would be something different than you've done for all the other rezonings.
Okay, well, I'll take care of that. I'll send out, I'll get the proper terminology and I'll put it on my own letterhead just to make the adjoining property owners. I'll take care of that myself, but I'll coordinate with staff, that I get the right information.
Okay. Just quick thing, Commissioner Tapp. So you are acting on your behalf as an individual commissioner and citizen. You are not acting at the direction of the majority of the county commission then?
That is absolutely correct, and I will make that clear, and I can submit the letter to legal counsel or whoever you think needs to approve it before it goes out.
I don't necessarily think we should expend any taxpayer dollars if you're acting as an individual commissioner or individual citizen. So I don't even think legal counsel should be looking at that.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't crossing any line. But I do think it's very important for a site this large and the neighborhood that I know many of the people that could be impacted. I would like there to be notification, and since we don't require that, I'll do that myself.
I mean, the applicant did say they would do themselves also and post signs graciously when they don't
Yes.
really have to either. So if you want to take that amongst yourself as a private citizen and expense your own dollars to mail that, that's fine. I don't think we should be using any taxpayer funds or anything like that at all, labor included.
No, I agree. I'm going to use my little computer here and my own printer, my own paper, and go buy my own stamps.
Okay, so to that point,
And if you wanted to CC us on that, Commissioner Tab, that would be appreciated as well.
Right. I'll get planning to look at it and you to look at it, make sure everybody's okay.
again, I don't think you should be utilizing commission taxpayer staffing hours to send your independent letter. So.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's correct. You know, that's all I
Can I offer that we draft the ad for the county commission staff to utilize, so I could send that to Commissioner Tab and she would have that information that's being used in the ad. I could just copy her on what I send to Jessica. I have to do the ad anyway.
Yeah, here's my issue though. We should not be, to Commissioner Stollifer's point, we should not be treating this applicant any different than any other applicant. Commissioner Tab is more than capable of seeing that ad that is published in the public arena and then can just copy the ad herself.
Will do. Okay.
Again, I didn't expect this to be this crazy, but I just, for purposes of taxpayer funding and all the other good things that come along with other stuff in that, I think you should independently take care of that yourself.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, do you need a motion for this?
Go ahead.
I move to request that the zoning map amendment be referred to the Planning Commission for review of the comprehensive plan consistency, and we schedule a public hearing on May 6th at 1:30.
Okay, so I thought we agreed to June 3rd at 1:30.
Oh, it's the June 3rd? I thought it was May. I'm sorry. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Planning Commission's May 11th, so you got to wait till after that.
I'm my bad. I'm wrong map. I'm looking at my map on my phone. Excuse me. I'm scheduling our public hearing for June 3rd. Thank you.
I'll second that. Any more discussion on this? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, we're still on time. So let's jump to, does anybody need a quick break or anything? All right, we're good. Let's keep going. Agenda item number 4, interviews and appointments to the following. Jefferson County Board of Health, 1 unexpired term ending June 30th, 2022. So I think we have 2 applicants. One came in late, I think a few hours ago, actually. So the first applicant is Mr. David Lutman. Is Mr. Lutman on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys this evening?
Not too bad. So I'll start with the obvious question. Why would you like to serve on this board?
Thank you for the question. So I'm listening to you guys this evening and see that you guys are really focused on your budgets and making sure that you're protecting our taxpayer dollars. And I understand that the health department has a great discrepancy and actually a large deficit. I have a really strong background with business, finance, accounting, and economics, along with some really strong managerial experience that I can produce better processes and productivity out of the staff. Hopefully, I can recommend some maybe some changes or provide some guidance in how they can work on the deficit and get more done in the best interest of the public.
Thank you, sir. Any other commissioners have questions for Mr. Lutman? Commissioner Tabia, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Good evening, Mr. Lutman.
Good evening to you also.
How do you define the role of the Board of Health? You're one individual on the board. How do you act? How does a board function?
Hopefully with unity. So that would be my objective, is to bring the group together in the best interest of public health. And, you know, as Damien stepped out and his role was ended, I think this is a great opportunity to improve the dichotomy of the group. Before, there were a lot of restaurant owners. I have a background in construction, people management, and finance and things of those natures. So I think I can add a layer to the dichotomy that provides a more rounded group.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you also.
Any further comments from Mr. Lutman? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you also.
If the commission, another applicant came in, I think a few hours back. If the commission wants to consider that applicant, we certainly can. How does everybody feel?
I did not get a chance to see that, Mr. Commissioner. I'm sorry.
I think it was emailed Larry Toggins.
Togans.
Togans.
Yes.
Sorry.
I have a comment to make on that. I didn't really review his credentials either. But in the effort of consistency and not showing favoritism or any partiality toward a late submission, I mean, he missed the deadline for submitting. It came in at the 11th hour this afternoon. I mean, he had ample time to submit, so I'm not inclined to consider it.
All right, and I'll be frank. I mean, so we do consider it sometimes. I mean, I honestly got it so late. I review everything. I really didn't even get a chance to review that. It came in so late. I mean, what's the time was? I can't even see what the time. It definitely came in 2 hours ago, actually.
Well,
So,
in all fairness, Mr. Lutman apparently and others have also followed the guidelines, and their applications have been included in the agenda packets. And in the fairness and for transparency, I mean, no one else has had an opportunity to look at his resume either. So.
Commissioner, oh, you already. Oh, I mean, Commissioner Hudson.
No, I think it came in a little too late.
Commissioner Tab.
Well, you all make valid points. I'm sorry we'll miss interviewing Mr. Togans, seems like, but hopefully he will reapply in a more timely manner.
All right, so I'll open nominations then for the Board of Health position, 1 3-year term ending June. Actually, it just says 1 unexpired term ending June 30th, 2022. So are there any nominations?
I'll nominate Dave Lutman.
Any further nominations? All right, nominations are closed. All those in favor of Mr. Lutman serving 1 unexpired term ending June 30th, 2022, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
No. 3-2. Congratulations, Mr. Lutman. All right, we'll move on. Next is Jefferson County Development Authority Board of Directors. We already said at the beginning of the meeting, we will not be appointing 1 3-year term to the labor representative. That term will not expire. So we're appointing 1 3-year term for a citizen representative ending April 5th, 2024.
Oh.
So let me pull up the resume.
I didn't see an applicant for the citizen.
Okay, so Mr. Sean Diego, he emailed me, said he was interested to be reappointed. I assumed he had contacted county commission staff as well. John,
I did. I had reached out to Jessica in reply to her email requesting whether I wanted to continue for another term. And she said that's the only reply she needed.
Oh.
Okay, so
Oh no. Okay.
I guess my thing is what would the commissioners like to do about that? I don't see it part of the agenda packet. I know I thought you contacted us individually perhaps and just informed us. Should we kick this to the next meeting and appoint at that point?
I think we should table it until the next meeting and have him go through the process. So
Yeah.
we're all aware.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, Sean.
No,
Could
I'm,
you-
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to support you. I think we should follow absolute protocol here. Can you just email Jessica your resume again and just say, hey, I want to be reappointed or consider to be reappointed?
Not a problem. I'll be happy to do so.
All right, so
Okay.
is that a motion, Commissioner Jackson, to table this? All right, I'll
Yes.
second the motion. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed? All right, so that'll be tabled until the following meeting. Thank you, sir. We'll see you then.
Thank you, commissioners.
All right, let's jump down to number 8 on new business. So it's a proclamation for April Fair Housing Month. Stephanie, are you?
Sorry, I muted myself again. We have to do these proclamations. It's required that we participate in fair housing to receive the grants, particularly the one that we received for broadband. So those broadband grants are contingent upon our having a fair housing program. So we started this a couple years ago when we were interested in applying for the grant, and we've continued to do it every year. So we're required to do the proclamation every April for fair housing.
Okay, so I mean, I'll read this proclamation real quick, guys.
Okay.
So proclamation by the Jefferson County Commission, West Virginia, whereas equal opportunity in housing is a right guaranteed to all Americans under Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, and whereas the 53rd anniversary of the National Fair Housing Law provides an opportunity for Americans to rededicate themselves to the principle of freedom of choice and reacquaint themselves with the rights and responsibilities that are theirs under the law. And whereas implementation of the fair housing policy of West Virginia requires positive commitment, involvement, and support of each and every one of our citizens. And whereas the Jefferson County Commission, West Virginia, provides leadership in an effort to make fair housing a right that can be realized by all of our citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, the President of the Jefferson County Commission, West Virginia, do hereby proclaim April 2021 as Fair Housing Month in Jefferson County and encourage all citizens to support the practice and policy of fair housing in their personal lives as well as in their workday duties. So I guess I move that's a motion that April 2021 is Fair Housing Month in Jefferson County, West Virginia.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Stephanie, I'll sign that tomorrow afternoon, okay? All right, next up is number 9. This is Commissioner Stolifer's request. Recognize that structures on parcels in the West Virginia Division of Forestry Managed Timberland Program be processed as agricultural or agriculture. So what is that exactly, Commissioner Stolifer?
Yes, when you go into the county for a permit, if you have property that is in agricultural assessment, there's a different way that you're processed through your permits because you're agriculture. We do have something at the West Virginia Division of Forestry where we have managed timber ground and the timberland in Jefferson County. And as far as I always thought that timberland is an extension of agriculture. They grow trees, we grow corn, and basically, when somebody comes in and asks for a permit at a permitting office, they call down to the our assessor to make sure that they are in farm assessment as in agriculture. This West Virginia Division of Forestry managed timberland that is done through the state, as it's done through the state of West Virginia, and only thing the permitting office would have to do in that case was just call the state. So I think we should treat the forestry the same as we do as our agriculture here. And I'd like to move a motion to treat our West Virginia Department of Forestry timberland programs and process permits as we do in agriculture. So that'll be my motion.
So I'll second it. So discussion, Stephanie, so can we, what ramifications of doing this, or do we even have the ability to do that?
I think that you do. I don't, the only thing I'm wondering is would it require a change in the definition in any of the ordinances that we have? Is that what you're talking about, Steve, when they come in to apply for like a permit or a building permit or something like that, or?
No, basically if you come in, if you have a farm and you apply to build a pole barn, you go to the permitting office. They call down to the office down at the tax office, and they make sure you are a farm and you're assessed as a farm. And then they give you your permit. Your requirements are a little bit different than a standard homeowner.
Okay.
And I want to treat that as the same. It has nothing to do with the ordinances. It's just the way how we permit it and we basically inspections and stuff like that. And what the definition of farm assessment is in this county, I believe you have to be over 7 acres and make over $1,800 on the parcel.
Oh, for
okay. The bee farm, at least as far as Mrs. Banks' office is concerned, that's how they do it. And like I said, the state covers the forest management program. And then instead of Becky calling Angie, they would just have to call the state and say, hey, is this property actually in this program? And they get the answer then, and they just hand over the same permit they would as they would hand somebody for agriculture as a farm.
So I think as long as it's not based, if they're not basing, if they're not making the distinction based on, I think you can do it either way. I'm just trying to figure out if it requires an ordinance revision or if it's just the building permit department saying, oh, we don't think that this is agricultural, or we don't think that it qualifies under agricultural. That's the only thing.
Would it be possible to table the motion so we can just review it? I didn't know the full extent of what the motion was before Mr. Stolper made it.
Oh, sure.
Can we review it and come back next month, and that will give us an opportunity to check with the planning folks and see about just the processing and if it creates any issues for them?
Yeah.
Not a problem. I'll table that until to the next meeting.
Thank you.
All right. So that's done. Let's jump to legislative updates. I was happy to see the massive bipartisan support rejecting the governor's tax increases in the House of Representatives. Our own John Doyle actually voted for that. So it's a bad bill. No, I'm joking. Nothing against Delegate Doyle, but any further on legislative updates, Stephanie?
Just a few, and I'll give you a more in-depth if there's something I need to give you a more in-depth. I had told you the last time that we met, Senate Bill 89, which was our Parks and Rec bill, was vetoed by the governor. However, they reintroduced that bill and changed the language at the request of the governor. He hasn't signed it the last time I checked, but it did pass again, and it's awaiting his signature. I think since they made the changes he requested, it's likely that will pass. It goes into effect on July 4th, so then those programs should be exempt moving forward. Their day camps and summer camps and stuff like that. HGR 3 did pass. That's the personal property exemption. It requires a vote because it's a constitutional change, and I believe that vote will now be scheduled for the general election in 2022. My only concern is that they address county revenues, county and municipal revenues as a result of losing that stream, and that the counties be involved in whatever plan they make to supplant those revenues. But it has to pass through, the voters have to approve it before anything would happen. But I presume they'll be working on a plan in the meantime to address the loss of revenue from the personal property tax.
Okay.
And then Senate bill, I think it's 492, involves decommissioning of solar facilities. And I think we talked a little bit about that. I mean, it was kind of raised a little bit during the public hearing on Monday evening. But it does require that the facilities post a bond with the state DEP in order to, a decommissioning bond, similar to the one that we're requiring. So the state is also implementing a requirement, and they did that so that the requirements would be the same for that they are for other energy providers that have to post similar bonds for their projects. So that did pass, and I believe the governor has signed that. So I think that is law now.
Okay.
I'll report back on the next meeting if there's any other major changes, but those are the major things. Oh, there were some really great tourism bills. I already told you the Airbnb passed, and then there was the bill making sweeping changes in how alcohol is sold. Yeah. That's really great. And a lot of that came from COVID. You know, there were emergency rules allowing for different methods of selling alcohol, and they just incorporated that into a bill, and that has passed. So that's good news, because I think it'll be good for tourism.
Stephanie, that didn't do away with that 1 p.m. Sunday nonsense, did it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it did.
There is a change in the time.
Yeah.
Wayne Clark was explaining it, and I didn't capture, he was going so fast I didn't capture all the changes, but there is something with the Sunday time.
Yeah, I think.
Being able to buy beer or something. Yeah, there is not a change in that.
I'll give Wayne a call and just ask him.
And yeah. I can give you okay.
Yeah, or if you want to just provide the public with that next meeting too. There's something about having to wait till like 1 p.m. on Sunday if you're trying to get a bottle of wine for like Easter dinner or something. I mean,
he was also saying like at checkout, because they won't let you check, you always got to call the manager to check out, something about you only have to be 16 now as long as the manager acknowledges you're checking. So there's quite a few changes with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I have. And I just, if we're on my updates, I have just a few kind of informational things to provide. I went out to the first day of the drive-through clinic at the track. It was moving pretty smoothly when I was there. Our emergency manager is acting as the command post director, so he's in the Berkeley County Command Center, and then WVU, the incident commander on the ground, is Donnie Grubb. We're providing some traffic control through our sheriff. We're providing, of course, Steve's time. Jeff has provided radios, and Jeff was out there again providing IT support to help out with the command center. And they did ask if the ESA could provide a unit for transports. The first day they did make 6 transports, though today I understand they only had 1. And so I did talk to Alan Kaiser and told him, that there were reimbursements for funding to refund any overtime that they had as a result of that they could make it an overtime assignment. But the ESA, I think they're down, they have men off the floor for various reasons. So I'm not sure that they're going to be able to provide a crew. The track, they were asking for our ESA to cover from 8 to noon, and then the track is providing from noon to 6. And then from 6 to 8, they'll just rely on the 911. But today it seemed like they had less transport, so maybe that's not as big of a need. The first day they did have more. Just to go out and see it, it's pretty cool. They have people registering on both sides of the car. They have vaccinators for both sides of the car. One floor is Pfizer, the other floor is your second shot of Moderna. So I understand there was a wait today, but they're processing people pretty smoothly as they're going through. So our staff is involved in that on Tuesday and Thursday until those clinics cease. And I believe that they think that they'll be going for the next 6 weeks. I did tell the sheriff that we would reimburse his overtime. He didn't want to pull people off their assignment. So the people who will be working that will be assigned, will probably more than likely be working overtime. And I told him that could be reimbursed either from American Rescue Plan monies or from FEMA Public Assistance Grant for the declared disaster of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I just wanted to give you a brief update on that drive-through clinic at the casino.
Commissioner Tab?
Stephanie, transports, are these people being transported to get their shot or something else? I don't quite understand it.
I muted Josh for a second. I think you'll be okay.
Okay. Did you hear my question, Stephanie?
Hear the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Okay. These transports, or is this just providing transportation for somebody to get their shot? Are they being transported in an ambulance as a result of getting the shot, or because they're too frail to travel in a regular car? I don't understand.
So it's a transport for any medical emergencies that would occur as a result of the clinic, either an allergic reaction or someone who just has an emergency. Today, I understand the transport was just an unrelated medical emergency, but they happened to have that medical emergency while they were in the vaccination line.
Yes. Okay.
So it's either that, just general medical emergencies that might occur during the vaccination clinic.
Yeah. Well, when you have that many people there, there's going to be something happening. So yeah. Okay. I just wanted clarity. I didn't want people thinking we were, doing individual transport by ambulance, and that they could call the ESA and get that arranged.
Right. And I am working, I think the health department's going to go back to maybe doing some small clinics for people who can't make it to the clinic like that. Like, so if they have transportation issues or they're hesitant or they're in a target population, I think the health department wants to start working on those. And I have been in contact with Dr. Reedy to start moving forward on that process. But no, this transport is just for any medical emergencies that might occur.
Well, and I have to make Dr. Reedy aware that there is that sort of transport possible through the Eastern Panhandle Transit Authority, but it has to be, you have to put a reservation in for it and all that. So
and
there may be some logistical problems there.
I went to both. I attended a virtual and an in-person vaccination planning meeting with the hospital. And I did speak to Johnny Grubb about people who might have transportation difficulties. I think if we could get, they're willing to accommodate a bus of people like from Pantran or something like that. We just have to, plan for it. But I think that they're willing to accommodate that if we ask them to. So they're aware that that's an issue.
Well, and they can even do individual transports, too. So they have smaller vehicles. Doesn't have to be a van load. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
And I did all. They're still struggling with staffing issues and hiring their open positions. And that's all I have. Don't forget, Josh, I muted you because for some reason there was feedback. So you're gonna have to unmute yourself or I'll unmute you.
County Commission reports. I'll go first. Sorry guys, I was like, my stupid computer was like clicking or something. I don't know. So Solid Waste Authority, I reported back a few months ago, people were running into the side of the new building they put up. That's been fixed again. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. They're still looking at, there might be a slight rate increase. That's ultimately up to the Public Service Commission of West Virginia. That's pretty much all to report there. Parks and Rec, thankfully they can run their programs pretty good now. I know the Easter thing was so popular, they had to expand enrollment and it turned out to a large success. So that's a plus. They're still working on that. They brought us to our attention a few weeks back, that expansion of Moulton Park. It's going to be called the proposed new Riverside Park. There's actually going to be a walk through that area this Saturday. I'm sure if other commissioners are interested to contact Jennifer, I'm sure she send you the information. But yeah, things are going a lot better there than they were this time last year. Hopefully that continues, but other than that, pretty much all I have to report. Commissioner Stauffer, you want to go next?
Yes, nothing really new on the Planning Commission side. most of the good stuff they forward to the county commission anyway. As far as the CBB is concerned, we do have a meeting tomorrow with a gentleman by the name of Brad Smith. I think you all are familiar with him. He was a former CEO of help me out, Josh. What's the CEO company? Intuit. There you go. He's going to donate money for a mountain biking path here in Jefferson County, and we have a meeting tomorrow. I believe it's at 2 or 3 o'clock with him and a few folks from Shepherd College. We're looking at maybe putting some bike paths on a property a farm that Shepherd College owns out 45 towards Martinsburg. And that's pretty much all I have.
All right, Commissioner Hudson, any updates?
Not much. C-Tub's pretty much wrapped up their strategic plan, got some upgrades coming. That's really about it.
Do you know when any sort of rate decrease is going to occur?
That's some contention at the board. They're arguing about it. So.
Okay, so hopefully sometime soon. Anything further?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Jackson?
Well, our ESA meeting's next week, so I don't have any updates from the last. And then we have broadband meeting coming up again, committee meeting coming up again on the 28th in the morning. So that won't interfere with ATV ordinance, but I don't have anything extra to add.
Commissioner Tabb?
The Water Advisory Committee, they met. We didn't go on the property, but we observed where the new addition to the Moulton Park, what do you call it, Riverside or something, Josh? It's the new name for it. We just viewed that from across the road and, kind of reviewed the plan that Parks and Rec has presented and feel that they've taken into account a lot of the issues that may deal with developing a property next to the river. But anyway, it looks like a wonderful, generous donation and a wonderful spot for a lot of people to enjoy. And then all the easements for the Farmland Protection Board we've done. Well, I haven't done it. Staff has done it, and a few other volunteers that has been the monitoring of all those easements has been done, and so that's a lot to review and go over and decide if somebody needs a letter to correct a situation. Usually they're small items that need to be cleaned up, like piles of tires and maybe some debris, but we run a pretty tight ship on that on easement property. So, and we're also processing new applicants. So it's always good to see the interest in the program.
Definitely. Anything further? Is that it, Commissioner Tabb?
That's it.
Okay, just before we jump to the next and last thing, I just want to make sure all the commissioners are aware that Tuesday, April 20th at 9 a.m. is a virtual meeting to lay the levy. Yeah. So mark your calendars, don't miss that meeting. All right, so it looks like we have one last agenda item to jump to, and that's agenda item number 5, Nathan Cochran, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney. Nathan, any of these 5 items, can you give us an update outside of executive session?
Yes, item number 3, the discussion of a possible agreement with the city of Ranson regarding storage of extra PPE equipment. As you may recall, our Homeland Security Director was able to secure quite a lot of PPE equipment from the state. We didn't really have a very good place to put it. And Ranson may have some space that they could let us use. The last that I talked to our Homeland Security Director, which was today at 5 o'clock, I think, Ranson had not gotten back with us regarding the exact particulars. And, they obviously have to jump through their own hoops, I think, to make determinations about what to do. But when we get the particulars back about this, I'll put together an agreement and bring it back to you to review.
All right.
Number 4, there were a variety of petitions for writ of certiorari that were filed regarding the solar text amendment. And I would just, say that, but then I have some legal advice that I would like to give you about that in executive session if the commission determines to go into it. And really the other 3 or the other items I think would be matters for executive session, except to say that our bonding policy, decommissioning policy, as Ms. Grove reported, Senate Bill 492 addressed that. The last that I checked, the governor had not signed that, but perhaps he has just signed it. Nonetheless, it does raise a couple of questions regarding our bonding policy and decommissioning policy, simply because if the state is going to require a bond of these folks, then I don't know that it makes sense for us to also require a bond, assuming that the state's bond is adequate. That would be something for you all to determine. So we may need to shift the focus of our policy, instead of it being a bonding policy, to just being on another part of a decommissioning plan. One thing that affects this is this Senate bill is the law, assuming the governor signs it, but there will be a variety of code of state rules that are promulgated based off of this. And so we don't exactly know what those rules will say and how much they will encompass. Nonetheless, I think we need to make sure that the governor has signed this, and then you all may need to come back and determine if you want to change our bonding policy into a decommissioning plan only and let the state's bond stand for the bond. That would be your determination. And I do not yet know, depending upon what other rules that may be promulgated, how that could affect our decommissioning plan, if any of that would supersede our personal decommissioning plan. As you know, I approached the decommissioning plan a little bit differently because there wasn't a particular exact state law on it. So we looked at it as though it was a nuisance or a danger to the public, and that was the basis of our bond policy. So anyway, hopefully by the time we get to the next meeting, some of those things will be cleared up, and we can move forward with how you want to deal with it. With regard to the item numbers under my number 5, 1, 2, 4, and 5, under my number 5, I believe that all of these items either require some legal advice because of recent legal action, or encompass some form of liability that I believe needs to be discussed in executive session, and I would so suggest that.
All right, so I'll move we go into executive session to seek legal advice on items 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5 on the agenda, item number 5.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're in executive session. Does anybody need a 5-minute break before we go into executive session? All right, we will go into executive session in 5 minutes. So it is 7:35. We'll be in executive session at 7:40.
We have to relog back in, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
That was quick. Is Caleb on?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, lurking in the shadows. Okay, let me know when you're back. You're ready to go, Stephanie.
Ready whenever you are.
Go ahead. All right, so I move we come out of executive session.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're in regular session. All right, I move we instruct legal counsel to utilize outside legal counsel regarding the solar text amendment issue and Jefferson County Civil Action Numbers 2021-C33 through 37 as needed, and subsequent legal matters in regard to the solar text amendment and so forth.
Second.
Any discussion? You're on mute, Nathan.
There is a second set of numbers that are related to the solar text amendment issue against the county commission. So I assume your motion would cover those as well.
Yes, they will. I'll update my motion to reflect those numbers as well. Any further discussion on them? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I would abstain from this. Thank you, sir.
All right. So all those opposed? Motion passes 4 with 1 abstention. All right, is there any more business to come before us tonight? I move we adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. All right, guys, remember, lay the levy, virtual meeting next Tuesday. Take care.
You've got a heavy workload. Take care.